is DWAN 1206 AM, a member of the kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
Sama-sama tayong matakam at matuto. Pinoy Flavors with Chef Jayson, where flavor meets heritage.
Yummy! Masarap na morning! Ako po ang inyong pambansang chefy, Chef Jayson of Trinings Kitchen Stories. At hatid ko sa inyo ang mga kusina hacks at tips para mas sumarap ang inyong umaga. Isa sa mga laging tinatanong sa akin, Chef, meron ka bang pasta recipe na pwedeng i-share sa amin? So today, lulutuin natin ang isa sa mga best sellers dito sa restaurant but in pasta style. This is Trinings Kitchen Stories, hipon sa alige, spaghetti. So, in a hot pan, maglalagay po tayo ng cooking oil. And make sure lang natin na evenly coated everything in the pan para po doon natin ipiprito yung ating shrimps. So, ang main protein natin for this dish are shrimps na ayaw nating ma-overcook. So, it should just be around 20-30 seconds. Kunin natin siya ulit. Tsaka natin siya ibabalik mamaya para maluto sa sauce. Naririnig nyo ba yung sizzle? Ibig sabihin nun, makukuha natin yung hard sear na gusto natin for the shrimps. Ingatan din po natin, huwag natin overcrowd yung pan para evenly distributed yung heat para sa hipon natin. Once na mag-turn orange na siya, pwede na po natin siyang baliktarin. Yung shrimp ay sinison natin very lightly with salt and pepper and a bit of garlic powder. So, gusto natin na may lasa na yung shrimp aside from the sauce also. Ayan, naamoy ko na. Sana naamoy nyo rin to. Once na nakikita natin to, tanggalin na po natin siya sa pan kasi meron pa siyang residual heat. At maluluto pa po yung shrimp natin mamaya. Ayaw natin ng chewy shrimp, ayaw natin na parang goma na siya sa bibig. Gusto natin yung medyo tumatalbog pa siya. Tumatalbog? Ayan. In the same pan, magigisa po tayo ng bawang. Medyo magdadagdag po ako ng olive oil. Ayan. Ayaw din natin na maging crunchy yung bawang. Gusto lang natin siya maging a bit translucent. Parang mga 2 steps away from golden brown. Pag napapansin na po natin itong medyo kumukulo na at naaamoy nyo na yung bawang, tsaka po natin ilalagay ang ating alige. So, etong alige po natin, galing po siya ng Pangasinan. And one of the best alige that I've ever tried. So, nung natikman ko po siya during one culinary tour, sabi ko, kailangan ko itong dalhin sa Manila. Yeah. Gamit ko dito yung spicy version ng alige, so it will have a lot of kick later pag natapos na natin yung sauce. Just to counterbalance a lot of the brine and the patawag dito, yung ocean flavor ng alige, maglalagay po tayo ng konting lemon juice. Tapos tsaka po natin ilalagay yung ating cooking cream. And for that burst of Pinoy flavor, gagamit po tayo ng gata. So tinatanong ako minsan kapag nagpapasta ako na ito yung dala ko sa potluck, Chef, kailangan ko pa ba ng cheese dyan? Yung gata na po tsaka yung alige ang magpapa-creamy na parang cheese sa ating pasta. I will also add lemon zest para mas maging aromatic siya. Depende na po sa inyo kung gaano karaming lemon zest. Pero ako fan po ako ng lemon zest. So halos inuubos ko yung zest na isang lemon. Yan. And bago po natin i-add yung ating pasta, maglalagay po tayo ng pasta water. Yung pasta water contains a lot of starch na po from the pasta when we boil them. So what it does is, it makes the pasta cling into the sauce. Mga usual na tanong sa akin dito sa restaurant, Chef, paano mo malalaman kapag okay na yung pasta? Ako, ang hack po na matuturo ko sa inyo, 2 minutes before the recommended time of cooking for the pasta, tanggalin nyo na po siya. Because that means that it will cook inside the sauce and it will retain the al dente o yung meron pang bite in the center. Naamoy ko na siya. Pero actually, gusto ko siyang lagyan pa ng alige. Ayan. Ipapaabot natin sa ating mga sous chef na nakabantay sa atin ngayon. Lagyan ko pa siya ng alige just so we make sure na yung kanyang flavors ay very balanced. Talagay din po tayong konting salt, a bit of pepper, tapos ibabalik na po natin yung ating shrimp. Yan. Nakita niyo kung gaano kabilis inabsorb nung pasta, yung pasta water. Maglalagay tayo ng kaunti pa. And a bit of butter para magkaroon siya ng creaminess and a bit of a gloss. Yung mga iba po, gusto nila merong chili flakes. Ako, okay din po sa akin yung chili flakes, pero yung mga okay na ako sa konting hint of spice ngayon kasi maaga pa, baka mamaya mag-trip to Jerusalem tayo sa CR. Ayan. And as finishing, lalagay po tayo ng spring onions for a bit of color. Tapos magsisave tayo ng konti for toppings later. Yung spring onions, medyo mag-a-add siya ng a bit of crunch. Ayan. And there you have it, ang ating pong hipon sa alige spaghetti. This is a bestseller, pangpulutan, pang-ulam, pang-papakan na appetizer dito sa Twinings Kitchen Stories, made into spaghetti style. Tara, plate na tayo. Ito na po ang Twinings Kitchen Stories, hipon sa alige, spaghetti style. Ayan, magandang hapon mga ka-Pinoy flavors. Napakinggan nyo na ba yung kusina hacks natin? Kasama yan sa bagong morning show sa IBC 13, ang 13 Mornings. At syempre, ako po ang makakasama nyo doon bilang host ng Kusina Hacks, kung saan araw-araw may mga mabilis at swak na tips tayo sa kusina. Pang araw-araw, pang bahay at pang level up na luto nyo. So handog ko po sa inyo ang mga hacks at tips para mas sumaya at sumarap ang morning nyo. Kaya mga ka-flavors, abangan nyo yan ha. Every morning, alas 6 po ng umaga dito lang sa IBC 13. Bago po natin ipakilala ang ating sobrang bonggang guest, gusto ko lang pong sabihin na patuloy po ang pagbibigay natin sa Twinings Kitchen Stories ng free meals sa ating mga magigiting na heroes from the transport sector, ang ating pong mga public utility vehicle drivers, TNVS riders, mga cyclists, anyone po nakasama at kabilang sa transport sector. After 8 days, ang maliit na kusina po natin ay nakapagbigay na ng 3,170 full meals para sa ating transport sector. Ako po bilang punong abala nitong initiative ay nagpapasalamat sa lahat po ng ating mga naging partners, donors, supporters, amplifiers, lahat po ng tumulong sa kanilang paraan para po sa initiative na ito. Ayan. Ang episode po natin ngayong araw ay very special for me dahil dadalhin po tayo ngayon sa Southern Mindanao. Isang region na punong-puno ng makukulay na traditions, and I would say one of the more underrated culinary regions in the country dahil hindi pa napapansin sa mainstream food scene. But that's changing now because of the chef that we have today. Pero bago tayo mag-umpisa sa kwentuhan, gusto ko lang din i-share na may personal connection ako with Mindanao. Yung lola ko po, si Lola Trining, Mama Trining, na kung kanino nakapangalan ng Trining's Kitchen Stories ay Ilocano. So, doon po nang galing yung Ilocano side of the family. But my maternal side, my Lola Esperanza, is Mindanaoan. Kaya para po sa akin, tuwing pag-uusapan ang Mindanao cuisine, hindi lang siya segment or topic, pero para siyang returning home, homecoming, na gusto ko pong mas kilalanin pa as part of my identity. At syempre, hindi po tayo basta-basta maglalakbay ngayon. Kasama natin ang isang chef na hindi lang nagdala ng Lutong Mindanao dito sa Manila, kundi kinikilala rin po sa international stage. We're very proud to have 2-time Michelin Bib Gourmand awardee, ang puso sa likod ng Kabel at Palm Grill. Walang iba kundi ang aking fellow Mindanaoan na si Chef Miggy Cabel Moreno. Chef, welcome to Pinoy Flavors.
Hi, Chef Jayson. Ako, I'm so excited to be here. Maraming salamat for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for having me. Excited ako sa episode natin ito.
Yeah, ako din. Medyo kinakabahan din ako kasi I want to learn about the cuisine but also parang I want to discover that part of my identity. Parang beyond food, like the Mindanaoan part. So my first question to you is, what really makes Mindanaoan cuisine in general and Southern Mindanao cuisine in particular distinct from, let's say, all the other regions in the Philippines?
Bago ko sagutin yun, Chef Jayson, I think I forgot to say hello sa ating mga viewers and taga-subaybay ng iyong show. No? But,
Yes.
Thank you. Diretso tayo sa pinaka-hard-hitting questions. So, what makes it distinct? Tama?
Yes.
Actually, I always say this, Jason, that when you travel to the island of Mindanao, that's when Filipino cuisine takes a whole new, different character. It takes a 180-degree turn from what we are used to
Yes.
sa alam natin sa Filipino food ng Luzon at saka ng Visayas, which mostly have a lot of similarities.
Mhm.
It's when you travel to that island that when you get to discover na ibang-iba ang characteristics ng Filipino cuisine sa Mindanao.
Yeah.
Dahil ito sa malawak na history ng buong island.
Mhm.
Even before the Spaniards came to the Philippines, quote-unquote, lagi kong sinasabi, discovered us, which alam naman natin na hindi, di ba? Pero before that ever happened, there was already a flourishing society as early as the 13th, 14th century, which they call the Sultanate of Sulu, which covers the islands of Zamboanga, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, south of Palawan,
Yeah.
and I think probably stretched out a bit all the way to Maguindanao.
Okay.
Pero parang iba namang Sultanate branch. So, this group of people has been actively trading spice,
Yes.
diba? Textile, intermarriages,
Yes.
and all these other stuff na nangyayari. So talagang influence was there bago pa dumating yung Spaniards. And what really sets it apart for me, Jason, is the usage of spices and root crops, which are not fairly common. Kasi like you said kanina sa introduction, or if I may just share na, Ilocano yung lola.
Yes.
Tapos yung kabilang part is
Mindanao.
Mindanaoan.
Yeah.
Ako din ganun eh.
Yes.
Yung lolo ko, si late Dr. Heraclio Cabel, is from San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte.
Malapit lang sa amin, mga
Oo.
3 towns away.
Diba? Tapos yung lola ko is the pure Tausug. Diba? So, I recently traveled to Ilocos Norte. I did something nung February doon. No? Tapos na-realize ko na ang hirap hanapin ng lemongrass. Oo, di ba? Ng langkwas,
Yes,
ng
yes.
lemongrass, yung mga spices. So sabi ng relatives ng family ko doon, hindi kasi gaano ginagamit dito, chef.
Yes, yes.
Di ba? Yung mga ganong klaseng aromatics.
Yes, yes.
So which is, you'll find, going back to Mindanao, mahahanap mo kasi ginagamit sa pang-araw-araw na pagluluto. Yung mga spices na yun. So that, for me, is one of the factors to what makes it distinct and uniquely their own.
Okay, so to me naman, patawag dito, when I think of Mindanao as still an outsider, I still feel like an outsider even if I'm bound by blood in it, is
feeling ko isa sa purest regions of who we could have been as a culinary country is Mindanao kasi ang daming parts of it never colonized and the influence of the Spanish is very minimal.
Very
In fact,
minimal.
very close to our Southeast Asian neighbors
Yes.
compared to the foreign influences like the white influences that we had in the past. Yung pinaka batawag dito, I think there are two core memories that I have with Mindanaoan food. The first one was the first time I was in South Cotabato for my lola's funeral. That was the first time I tried pastil.
Blown away ka ba?
Blown away ako kasi it was such a simple dish and it was so cheap na parang ako, nung binibili namin siya, I was expecting a snack or like something to fill my stomach before we do the grand dinner. Pero nung kinain ko siya, siguro man nakaapat ako and I was still hungry for it. Like, na-try ko yung manghang, na-try ko yung hindi manghang, and towards the end, pinagsasama ko na sila. And then the second one was the first time I tried Kula Ito in Zamboanga. So parang yung flavor profile lang niya was something I've never had before.
Yeah.
But at the same time, made from ingredient that you're familiar with. So it's a flavor that the flavor is very familiar but also very surprising. Parang
Tama, Jason. If I may add, no, you're right about that. I mean, in fact, I personally believe that you can correct me if I'm wrong. Sa tingin ko, kung hindi dumating yung mga Spaniards, the Philippines would have been an Islamic country or state
I think so too.
because of the other Southeast Asian influences. No? So, and that could have been actually an identity of who the entire Philippines would have, if that didn't happen. Pero, yun nga, tama ka. No? The flavor profile is so different. There's a lot of those spices that play into the making of the specialties. Tapos there's a unique thing which I'm extremely proud of as a tausog. Kasi makikita mo siya sa Sulu Archipelago lang at saka sa Zambasuta region yung pagsusunog ng nyog.
Yes.
Diba? So, yung incorporating burnt coconut into their cooking is a pre-colonial practice.
Yes.
Which is still being done up to now, which I feel we should be extremely proud of as Filipinos. Kasi it's not diluted.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang nandun talaga, it comes with the culture and the history of who we are as Filipinos. And that's something to be proud of. That's why I made it my life's mission to bring it here to Metro Manila in 2017 when I opened Palm Grill. Back when it was quote-unquote unfashionable to put up a regional restaurant. More so something na hindi kilala.
Yes.
Diba? So parang alala ko noon, a lot of my friends were like, balyo ka ba? Diba? Parang sisiraan ka ba ng bait?
Anong sagot mo?
Sabi ko, I wouldn't himi kung hindi ako balyo. Pero sabi ko, I need to do this because it was deafening to see that there was no representation of Mindanao. Diba? There, of course, I don't want to take all the credit kasi prior to Palm Grill, meron namang mga eateries sa Quiapo, Muslim community sa Manila. Pero it was really Palm Grill who really brought it forward to make it accessible as a casual dining restaurant. No? For people who will find it hard to go to the Muslim town in Quiapo, ito parang it's open to everybody.
Yes.
So, yun.
And less intimidating than...
Oo, that's intimidating diba? Tapos, ayun. So, pero syempre, it was jobs left and right of all these hardships of putting up a restaurant.
Okay.
And all the stereotyping that came along with it. So,
like what?
Talaga,
Like what?
Dami. Syempre, parang meron yung, ayoko niyan, Mindanaoan food, or Muslim food, ano yan, ayoko niyan. Parang,
gusto ko pork.
o kaya yung parang tipong na, hindi ako sure Muslim food ano lasa niyan, di ba? So, which I already knew beforehand kasi lahat ng mga friends ko, at least not all, but some were saying na, sino kakain sa'yo? Di ba? Magbubukas ka ng ganyang restaurant sa Manila. Eh, hindi nga nila, never been heard of ang food na yan Pero, I guess it all paid off. I mean, fast forward to now, 9 years after, with the Michelin's arrival, great flow, for everything that has been happening so far.
Sobrang relatable nung kwento mo, Chef. Because, actually, batawag dito, me being the chef of Cleaning's Kitchen Stories was just accidental. The main reason was we couldn't afford someone professional to head the kitchen when we were starting out. So parang I was comfortable sharing the recipes, telling our stories. Pero parang to be the chef of the restaurant, because I didn't have background in culinary and business before I did the restaurant, parang feeling ko I should have someone professional doing it. But what changed it was the first time we met with a chef consultant. Sinabihan niya ako na, you will never be successful with an Ilocano restaurant in Marikina. So,
lo and behold.
pag sinabi mo yun sa akin, as an Aquarius, medyo...
Hindi pwede.
Hindi pwede. Papatunayan ko sa'yo, wait lang, parang gano'n. So, ba tawag dito, na I can relate to the hardships of a regional restaurant trying to, not trying to make everyone listen, but to just exist
Yeah.
and be. Yung next question ko actually is like, from one region to another, how hard was it to keep the flavors of Mindanao while at the same time making ligaw to the Filipino Manila diners?
You know, there's a really funny story to that, Chef. I thank you for asking. So, nung binuksan ko yung restaurant in 2017, finally, the last move was because of all these people telling me na it's not gonna work, blah, blah, blah. So, the last move was talagang I added other things on the menu that's not Filipino. Parang, sorry for the better lack of term, para to lure people in lang. Pero, pag nasa loob na sila, saka namin pinupush yung Mindanao. Kasi na-experience namin na parang, kaysa sa lumabas sila ng restaurant, kasi wala silang familiar na nakikita. So, in the first probably 2-3 years, we were doing that. Pero we were slowly luring them in para they get to try Mindanaoan cuisine. That's when they get to do, then that's when we're happy. So it was really, really hard at first, no, to really, in fact, even before the Michelin came, it was quite difficult. Although we did have a following already for operating for X number of years. Pero yung talagang dagsain ka at subukan yung pagkain mo, napakahirap.
Yes.
And in terms of the flavor, we're glad that yung mga regulars namin since 2017, ang sinasabi sa amin parate, the quality has never changed. That's solely because part of our R&D, nung nag-research and development kami for the restaurant, we get everything from our commissary kasi in Zamboanga and Sulu.
Okay.
So to keep the traditions alive and the quality of the flavor, everything is flown even up to now. Nililipad pa siya from Zamboanga and Sulu and Basilan and Tawi-Tawi. Yung mga kailangan namin and ginagawa sa commissary papuntang Metro Manila. So yun yung isang mga bagay na hindi nagigets ng karamihan sa mga Pilipino eh. So parang there are those who would dine in and kakain lang tapos may masasabi lang. Hindi nila alam yung
the labor
of love that you put into every single dish. And for those who understand it, we're so grateful for. Na kasi parang they appreciate it to that extent and level na parang look, there's so much love that was put and passion was put into this dish.
Yes.
So parang it's not just something na you just put in the microwave and then yun na yun.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
So, to keep it, the quality ganun, yun ginagawa namin even up to now. In fact, mamayang hapon, may shipment kami sa cargo na kukunin na nagpadala ng ingredients. Kasi we source it out there kasi number one, gusto naming suportahan yung mga local farmers and fisher folks. Number two, we want to be able to give opportunities sa locality of where we get this from. And then third, to make sure that we do not shortchange our customers and clients. To make sure that when we say it's authentic, when we say it's real Tausug cuisine, it is what you're gonna get
When
and
you're
more.
there.
And when you wanna prove that point, which brings me to another idea. Gusto mong ma-prove ang point na tama sinasabi namin, subukan mong lumipad ng Mindanao. Diba? So parang it's hitting a bird with two birds with one stone. So yun, yung mga bagay na yun.
Okay, one, I feel seen as a regional cook. Kasi like, Ilocano cooking. Ilocano cooking is, I think we have an excellent use of vegetables. That's one. And second,
I love Ilocano food.
And second, batawag dito, nose to tail cooking talaga siya. So when people go to the restaurant and order a pinakbet, and then, one, kapag sinasabi na they want the vegetables crunchy, medyo nalulungkot na ako. Papasok na ako sa kitchen and say, gusto raw ng half-cooked na pinakbet. Kasi hindi na ako yung magluluto nun kasi that's not pinakbet for me.
Yes.
But when they look at the prices and they say na parang it's higher than karinderya pinakbet, I'm like, one, the vegetables are from Ilocos. They're really heirloom seeds. They're fifth generation seeds coming from small farms na hindi mo makikita dito sa Manila talaga yung
correct.
And second, parang feeling ko yung tingin natin that Filipino food should be cheap. I agree it should be accessible. And if it's accessible, it will become cheap.
Cheaper.
But now that it's not, it should be more expensive. Because you have to pay judiciously your suppliers and your partners. So when you don't like paying more for Filipino food, it speaks more about your perspective of farmers and fisher folk
Correct. Yeah.
than the actual
Correct.
food itself.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, and if I may add to that, what's funny is kasi parang you're more than willing to spend for a steak.
Yes.
A steak meal that's gonna cost you like 5,000, 7,000,
Yes.
depends on the restaurant you go to, and patronize that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to your local cuisines and restaurants, parang you question na bakit mas mahal. Is it because of the idea na you can do it at home? Or
You
whatnot?
can you can do it at home. You can eat it at carinderias.
Tama. Pero ako naman, like for me, I mean, okay, go ahead. Good luck. Make your itum at home if you want to, right? Pero, but it's beside the point. Yung para sa akin naman, I mean, you have to look beyond, di ba? You have to step back and look at the bigger picture. And if we can support Western flavors, we must support local flavors more.
Yes.
Kasi it is who we are. It's our identity. Di ba? And like what you do, Chef, I applaud you for that. Na kasi talagang you've worked hard to make sure that you represent Ilocano cooking to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people do that now. Alam mo yun? A lot of people are more concerned na parang, sige doon tayo sa makatipid, mas mura.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba? Pero dapat consciously, we should be eating smart ngayon. And in fairness naman, with the Michelin's arrival, na-notice ko, Filipinos are now more intentional when they eat.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang hindi na lang basta-basta.
Yeah.
Intentional na sila in such a way na parang you have to know what you put in your body. Diba? Na parang veer away from, ay kasi mura. Basta masarap mura, okay na yan.
Yeah.
Dapat ngayon intentional na parang pinapasok mo sa katawan mo yan eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Ano ba to?
And food is
Yeah.
always the first step of culture. You're
Exactly.
literally putting culture inside
into
yourself.
yourself, in your body, as apart from the fact that you need to eat healthy.
Yeah.
It's for the long run, di ba? Na parang, okay, gets ko. I mean, I have nothing against sanggipsal and all this stuff, right? Although, prior to the arrival of the Michelin, kasi alam mo naman sa Tomas Morato where Palm Grill is, natalo
Daming
na
sanggipsalan.
ako ng kaliwat ka ng sanggipsalan, right? So, and every time, bago nung na-awardan kami, pag nakikita ko yung pila sa mga sanggipsalan, sobrang haba, it makes me feel na parang, noon, kailan kaya ako magkakaroon ng pila? Parang kailan kaya ako tatangkilikin ng mga kapwa Pilipino no? Sa ginagawa namin, ganyan. So parang, there's nothing wrong with that. Diba? Pero sa akin lang, parang think about, okay, you might think you get a lot from your unlimited sanggupsal, but you're not thinking about the long run. On the long run, like parang, what's the health benefit of this as you grow older, di ba? What you
Kasi
put
may
in your
kimchi daw eh. So.
Wait, masarap ang kimchi ah. I mean,
masarap yung kimchi and it's a healthy food. Pero kapag sinama mo siya ng unlimited beef and pork.
Oo, beef and pork and all. Di ba? Walang problema doon. Pero, I mean, sometimes let's stop thinking about, ay, mas marami kasi yung makukuha ko sa konting amount na ibabayad ko. Actually, we should veer away from that and start to be smart and thinking about good food and quality food, you know, that we put into our bodies. Again, baka ma-cancel ako. Nag-Korean restaurants. I love Korean restaurants. You know? Pero, sabi ko lang is, everything in moderation. Pero yung sa akin lang naman, parang kung kaya natin suportahan
ang
ibang cuisines, dapat una nating mas sinusuportahan yung sariling atin. Hindi lang Mindanaoan cuisine. Hindi lang Ilocano, hindi lang Cebuano, hindi lang lahat. Lahat at pati yung mga hindi pa natin nadidiscover. Bigyan natin ng pagkakataon. Kasi that's the only way for us to be really, really proud of who we are.
I think that's actually the reason why it's not happening. One, we're not proud of who we are. And second, I don't think there's a clear sense of who we are as a national cuisine. I think we have very excellent regional cuisines and regional culinary identity. But as a national culinary identity, parang feeling ko wala pang...
Well, the debate is always about adobo, and, you know, the ones that we already know
Sisig.
Sisig and all that. Pero para sa akin kasi, Filipino cuisine is not limited to that. It's a collaboration of all the different regional cuisines, a collection. And the collaboration of all regional cuisines that when you put them together, that's who we are.
For me, conversation in one table, not competition in one table.
Actually, I was just recently telling in an interview, sabi ko kasi ng problema ng some Filipinos are, we have a toxic trait of gatekeeping. And then we have a toxic trait of comparing. Na parang, no, our adobo is better than your adobo. Diba, parang, why can't it just be adobo as a whole and that's who we are?
Your mother's adobo. I would love to try your mother's adobo.
Parang, why can't it just be like, regardless of it is adobo sa toyo, adobo sa suka, adobo sa chuete, adobo sa kata. Doesn't matter. We should have like standard of this is, diba? Para that's in order for us to truly understand who we are. Kasi pag pinag-aawayan natin yan, pag gatekeep natin yan, edi, tinan mo kimchi. Kimchi is kimchi.
Yeah.
Wala namang sinasabi na kimchi from North or kimchi from South of Korea, di ba? Pero it's just kimchi and it represents sushi. Sushi is just sushi. When you say sushi, it's the entire of Japan.
Yeah.
It doesn't say sushi from Hokkaido or
Yeah.
sushi from some part, Sapporo or whatever. Ganyan, no?
Yeah.
It's always just sushi. So because it's clear identity of who they are. And us, it's difficult because we're archipelagic, di ba? Parang broken down into major islands.
Yes.
Pero we can all come together.
Yes.
Right now, it's easy. Everything is travel. You can travel everything by plane and all that. No? Madali na. It's just really coming together. Walang magaling. Hindi mas magaling ang Visayas, hindi mas magaling ang Mindanao, hindi mas magaling ang Luzon. Magaling tayong lahat.
Yes. And there's no quota for success. Pwede
Correct.
tayong lahat
Pwede tayong lahat. There's room
rise.
for everyone. There's room for,
Yes.
pero kailangan supportahan natin bawat isa.
Yes. And speaking of support, gusto kong actually pag-usapan pa yung iyong culinary journey. We'll take a short break and we'll be back here at Pinoy Flavors with Chef Jayson.
Sa bawat pag-alis ng isang OFW, may pangarap. Pero may takot din. Takot na sa pag-uwi. Wala pa rin kabuhayan, walang kasiguruhan. Pero nagbago ang kwento. Sa pagsisimula pa lang ng Department of Migrant Workers, maliwanag ang direksyon ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Itaguyod ang National Reintegration Program.
Ito yung program ng Department of Migrant Workers para tuloy-tuloy ang tulong sa kahit nakauwi na yung OFW ay may tulong pa rin sila natatanggap sa pamahalaan.
Sa kanilang pag-uwi ay dapat ganap ang tulong at suporta, hindi mga government agencies na magkakahiwalay kundi sanib puwersa.
Mula sa mga training para sa pag-empleyo at pagninegosyo, binubuksan ang mga oportunidad na dati sa ibang bansa lang natatagpuan. Last week, personal na binisita ng Pangulo ang iba't ibang training na ibinibigay ng DMW, tulad ng negosyo ng soap making sa Laguna. Isa ito sa mga negosyong ngayon nagbibigay ng bagong kita at bagong pag-asa sa ating mga OFW. Isang dating seaman, chef at housekeeping staff. Ngayon, mga negosyante na. Sa pagninegosyo, gumagabay ang Department of Trade and Industry.
Ang laki ng ginawa nilang sakripisyo para magtrabaho sa ibang bansa. Tinatawag natin silang bagong bayani. Tapos dapat naman, pag uwi nila, mayroon din tayo may tulong sa kanila para patuloy naman ang kanilang anak.
Sa buong bansa, tuloy-tuloy ang trabaho. Isa-isang inaayos sa mga bagay na nagpapagaan sa buhay ng mga Pilipino. Ang pag-uwi para sa mga OFW, hindi nakatapusan, kundi isang matapang na simula para sa ating mga bagong bayani.
Ayan, nagbabalik po tayo sa Pinoy Flavors with Chef Jayson. Kasama pa rin po natin si Chef Miggy Cabel Moreno. Chef, paano ba nagsimula ang journey mo? As a cook, as a chef? What were the meals that you grew up loving? Bitawag dito, kwentuhan mo kami.
You know, that's a really nice question kasi I started cooking when I was 8 sa kusina ng lola ko sa Sulu. And then eventually sa kusina ng mom ko sa house namin in Zamboanga. So, since bata pa lang ako talagang, you know, the great thing about growing up in that household was the kitchen was always open. Hindi siya yung parang tipong, bawal ka dito, bata ka, maraming matulis dito, may knife, may mainit, masunog ka, whatever. It wasn't like that. It was always an open kitchen. And then you can ask questions. And my grandmother and my mom would happily answer and teach you. So it was a full sensory kitchen and experience para sa akin.
Yes.
It really made me fall in love with cooking.
Yes.
That eventually, nung high school ako sa Ateneo de Zamboanga University, every year meron kaming tinatawag na Ateneo Fiesta. So it's a one-week event of sports, everything, food, everything you can think of, no? I always get a booth. Nagrerenta ako lagi ng booth. Tas
Kahit high school ka pa lang?
High school ako noon. Binibenta ko lagi yung pianggang manok ng mami ko. So, every day, sold out yan parati. Oo, totoo. Doon talaga ako nagkaroon ng feeling na parang, this is gonna work. Kasi masarap talaga, I mean, not for anything, pero masarap talaga yung version ng pianggang that my mom does. And then, nagbago yun nung college. Kasi naging nurse ako nag-nursing ako
Oh, wow.
Nag-shift kami. Registered ako, nagtrabaho ko sa hospital 2 years. So, nag-nursing ako, I followed my mom's advice, as an obedient son. After 2 years, talagang meron yung longing, alam mo yun, pag may gusto ka talaga sa buhay, na alam mong yun ang gusto mong gawin. So, pagbalik ko ng Pilipinas, kasi yung OFW din ako So, pagbalik ko ng Pilipinas, yun, I started.
Ano points of relatability?
Oo, di ba? Sabi ko, so pagkatapos nun, and all this naman, life lessons na pinagdadaanan mo sa buhay. Lahat yan, it teaches you something in life.
Yeah.
And naniniwala ako that if you're destined for something, it will happen eventually. It may not necessarily be at the same timeline na gusto mo.
Yes.
Pero mangyayari yun. You just have to believe in it. So, nung tiniyo ko yung restaurant in Tomas Morato, in Quezon City, nung 2017, yun na. It was really doing what I grew up enjoying and loving. So it was really that brought me into that whole full circle moment for me now na parang ito talaga nga pala ang para sa akin. Kasi if not, it would have not lasted 9 years. It would have not been, hindi siya, kung nag-pandemic na lahat, it could have closed my doors and all. Pero we pushed through Kasi ibig sabihin, it is the destiny.
Yes.
And grateful ako para doon.
Yes. Okay. Gusto ko rin mag-share.
Yeah.
Hindi, the way you characterize the kitchen, I think is one of the most beautiful characterization I've ever heard. That the kitchen is a space where you can ask.
Yeah.
The kitchen, which is also a dangerous place because you have heat, you have
knives
and everything, but you can coexist with your lolos and lolas. The first time I felt welcome in the kitchen was when I was 7. Yung lola ko kasi, batawag dito, I think the dish that built Trinings is the Trinings Mickey. I built Trinings kasi hindi nakasulat yung recipe niya pag tumatay. So parang we had to go through all our steps as cousins together. Ay, ito yung ginagawa niya. Ito yung steps niya hanggang sa makuha namin yung lasa. Just to save that recipe. And the first time na pinayagan akong gawin that was when I was 7. Inabutan niya ako ng bote ng mantika na dating bote ng gin para
to use as a
as a rolling pin.
Rolling pin,
And it was for the community. And I think as early as 7, I fell in love with food, and I realized that food carries responsibility, and I think the Filipino kitchen is built to serve.
Correct.
And yung experience na yon really shaped my cooking as well. So I'm a home cook.
Yeah.
And again, like you, parang nagtrabaho ako in a different industry. Nagluluto ako sa bahay lang and just inviting friends over. The first time we sold the family food was when we were fundraising for my grandmother's expenses, hospital expenses during the time. So parang feeling ko there's something about the kitchen. And there's something about, like attracting where you're destined to be. Maybe not with the timeline that you think
it is,
but in the right time.
Correct.
Yeah, diba?
If I may also add, Chef, kasi that's when you learn. That's when your palate gets educated. It starts when you're young, diba? Sabi ko nga, the technique you can learn it. Pero the gift of having the palate to identify flavors and to know what's good, what's not, it starts young for me, at least from my experience. I'm grateful ako for that, and the same as your family who's opening your kitchen and making it accessible as a kid for you to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important and essential, which a lot of this generation probably is missing out. Diba? So
everything's on TikTok.
Everything's on TikTok na, diba? Parang the science of things is not there.
Pero with your restaurant, when was that moment when you felt confident na parang, okay, I don't need to, batawag dito? Hindi ko na kayo kailangan illure in with the familiar flavors. Go here when you need Mindanaoan flavors.
That happened exactly on our 3rd year anniversary. So after running it for 3 years, that's when I realized na it's a disservice to my passion and my goal and my heritage to lure people in with other things on the menu. So parang that's when I went full on. I spoke to the family, I spoke to the team and said, okay, fine. On your 3rd year anniversary, we'll relaunch this restaurant as a full-blown Mindanaoan.
Okay.
I don't care kung papasukin siya, tatauhin siya, basta gagawin ko kung ano yung gusto kong gawin.
Okay.
Because from the get-go, my vision was clear. Pero I'm guilty as a human person na nag-doubt ako ng sarili ko. Pero now, sabi ko, no, I'm not going to do that. Gagawin ko to, whether people will like it or not. And it was on the 3rd year.
Yeah.
And nakakatakot, pero I guess it all paid off.
In the middle of your
Oo.
5 years, yung first 5 years, yung
Yes,
pinaka-delikado
talagang
sa atin.
that's when nag-full on Mindanaoan na talaga ako. Sabi ko, enough of all these other things. That's why other customers from 2017 would still look for some of the items. So palang, nasa na yung Paswalda's fried chicken? Sabi ko, ay, wala na po, ganyan. Or the roast chicken and all that. So parang full-blown na kami. And I'm grateful I did that. I took that route. And tama nga, there's always a reason for everything. And if I had not, then probably I would have never made it this far if I pretended to be somebody that I wasn't, only because I wanted to earn money.
Yeah.
What other people don't know is in this business, if money wasn't really my main priority, syempre kailangan mo yun
Yes.
to sustain your
Yeah.
business, right? To keep it afloat. Pero more than anything, it was really that responsibility of having representation
Yeah.
and knowing that it doesn't exist, almost
Yeah.
doesn't exist, really is deafening to me. And sabi ko, kailangan. Because people need to know. People need
Yeah.
to understand. And plus, facing stereotyping, facing all these preconceived notions and ideas, sabi ko, I'm gonna change the narrative. And I'm gonna change the perspective. No matter how long it takes, even if I have to continually repeat myself again and again and again, gagawin ko to kasi mahal na mahal kong ginagawa.
It's one thing to do that as a skilled chef, but it's a different strength doing it with a team.
Yes.
How did you transfer not only the skill but the vision and the passion?
You know, when you're honest as a person and when you're open, when you wear your emotions on your sleeves, tapos pinapakita mo to sa mga team mo, they gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
They feed off that energy that you
Yeah.
have. In fact, yung kitchen ko, it's a fun kitchen. Most of my staff has been with me since 2017, some.
Nice.
Diba? So parang, kasi they know it. They share the same values as you do. Nakikita nila yung hardships, they go with it, they help you,
Yeah.
we work together, and it's setting that environment. And na-learn ko yun kasi yung kitchen namin, happy kitchen. I mean, not totally everyday happy. Siyempre,
Yes.
na daming struggles,
Yeah.
pero
For sure.
pero predominantly happy kitchen. And what I realize is, when that is the environment that people work in, your team,
Yeah.
the food always comes out really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba? No, parang walang Hell's Kitchen dito, sorry. Diba? Walang naghahagis ng frying pan dito or walang curse words and ganyan.
Yeah.
There's just silence
Yeah.
sometimes. Alam nila, yung mga team ko, alam nila pag wala ako sa mood or if I'm not okay or if I'm angry, kasi I'm quiet. And when I'm quiet, dun sila natataranda.
So paano sila pag gano'n? Do they mag-iingay sila?
They continue doing their
They give
work.
you the space.
They give me the space and all that. They know that. Kasi ganun yung kinalakihan ng kitchen environment. That's why I remember I have one chef who left us, tapos nagtrabaho sa iba, tapos nagkwento sa akin na parang ibang-iba talaga. Bumalik siya. Actually, bumalik siya sa amin because na-realize niya nung nagtrabaho siya abroad in another kitchen na parang the value of working for us was completely different. Yan.
Anong pinaka-memorable feedback ang nakuha mo from a customer?
Good or bad?
Both!
Ay, gusto mo unahin, bad or good? Well, actually, the most memorable feedback, okay, there is this one story one day na a family came into the restaurant. I don't share this story that often, but this is a positive one. Yung mami kasi nila, once upon a time, nagtrabaho bilang teacher. Teacher sa Sulu in the 60s.
Yeah.
Tapos after nun, nung nagkagulo sa Sulu in the 70s, hindi na nakabalik.
Yeah.
So from 1974, I think, at until that time na dinala nila mami nila, she hasn't been back. So birthday niya, they treated her to that. And then, the first taste niya nung sati, the local breakfast
I love
table.
sati.
Yeah, sati, no? She cried. Because, according to her, it brought her beautiful memories of when, once upon a time, she was in Malo, which she always wanted to go back but was never able to go back again. And that's when I also realized na my food is meant to bring memories. It's meant to evoke beautiful memories. of people who once upon a time called places in Mindanao home
Yeah.
and has never gone back. And that really stuck to me. And I said, I always get quite emotional when I share that story. Kasi umiyak siya, niyakap niya ako. And nagpasalamat siya. And that validation was really, really good because sabi ko, ito talaga yung totoong ginagawa ko.
Yeah.
Diba? Tapos yung ganong moment na makita mong happy yung mga anak niya.
Yeah.
And then the most recent, ito recent na, a month ago I think, I gave them the space that they needed because I felt it has to be celebrated that way. Nasa second floor sila ng restaurant. Tapos nag-order sila ng food. And then I think daughter niya yun. Siguro ako anak niya yun. Nilabas nung babae yung picture frame nung nanay. And placed it on the table and I saw that and nung nakita ko yun talagang I was like, oh, I mean, this is a celebration of remembering their mom. And then I gave them the space. I smiled at them, I checked on them, I gave them the space to celebrate and all that. And that was a beautiful core memory in my head kasi days after nag-post siya. And nakita ko sa social, kasi I have access, and nakita ko sa social media yun, that photo with the caption, and I read the caption and that's when I knew that I was correct. It was food that I think yung mother niya comes from and they wanted to celebrate her death anniversary.
Yeah.
And ang sabi pa niya doon na parang tausog food para sa'yo. You know.
Yes. Yes, mabigat siya
Oh,
when that happens.
yeah, mabigat. And moments like those are my best moments running the business.
Yeah.
It's not just about the awards, the accolades.
Yeah.
It's not about what you earn.
Yeah.
It's really about those simple, quiet moments that make you realize your worth as a person.
Yeah. And people are, ako, parang another perspective with being a chef for me now is parang people are literally alive and happy after eating your food.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang buhay sila, masaya sila, sabay yon. Minsan kasi buhay ka lang pero hindi ka masaya.
Hindi ka masaya. Oh.
Or masaya ka pero hindi ka,
You're not living the life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Diba?
So, yun, chef. I mean, those moments na talagang nakatatak sa utak ko at that matters the most to me. Kasi para sa akin, what I'm doing is beyond me. Diba? I mean, if you get moments like those, parang wow. Parang,
hindi siya mababayaran ng
hindi siya mababayaran ng kahit ano. So, kahit ano pang natatanggap naming mga negative reviews sometimes from people na parang the food is blah, 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 blah. To me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Para sa akin, okay. Say what you have to say.
Yeah.
You're not gonna matter as much.
Yeah.
Because when we get bad reviews, I just always go back to moments like those that truly matter and truly what it means to anong ginagawa namin. So para sa akin, yun si Palm Grill.
Yeah.
Si Palm Grill is not just representing Mindanaoan flavors. It's not just representing Filipino culture, but Palm Grill is really bringing moments that truly matter the most to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially those who can relate, those who allowed us to bring home closer to them.
You're serving memories on a plate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Medyo mabigat yung part na yan ng discussion, ha? Usapang Michelin recognition tayo and its impact when we get back. Huling break po. Ay. Okay, tuloy-tuloy na daw po sabi na ating mga friends. Chef, how was the Bib Gourmand experience?
Wow. Still, no, it's been what, 5 months? October, November, December. Almost 6 months since I was awarded two Michelin Bib Gourmands for 2 of my restaurant concepts. Yung Cabel, Filipino Heritage Restaurant sa may San Miguel, Manila, sa tapat ng Malacanang Palace. At saka yung Palm Grills, Tomas Marzok. Alam mo, hanggang ngayon, nasa cloud 9 pa rin ako. I'm still really adjusting to all these things that are happening. Pero, totoo yun, no? Parang, when that happened, it changes your life completely. Na parang, nobody can really be ready for something as that. Kasi nga, sabi nga nila, di ba, na parang if Oscars for the movies, Grammys for the music, we have Michelin for food.
Yeah.
And I'm so overwhelmed with everything that has just been happening. Pero what's great about it is we had 8 years of practice. We were able to ground ourselves in what needs to be, no, in terms of being in terms of being humble, in terms of making sure quality is there, excellent service is there. So we had 8 years of practice, kaya medyo parang a little bit of adjustment lang in terms of yung pagdami ng tao, ng customer, ganyan. So sobrang daming nangyari na paminsan parang I'm grateful na I'm grounded as a person kasi I'm able to pull myself out, step back and look at things in the bigger picture and then reassess myself. I'm always really good at that.
You're that type of person.
That type of person.
Mataas yung self-awareness.
Oo, self-awareness ko is always there. So
and self-critique.
Self-critique, yeah. At saka, knowing when to pause.
Yeah.
At saka knowing what is valuable from nuts.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi malulula ka eh. Ang daming brands na dumarating, ang daming offers na ganito. Pero, I'm glad that my core is so stable to the fact na parang, wait, does it still apply to my principle as a person? Because if not, then I'm not gonna do it. Pero grateful ako talaga kasi parang mas narinig na kami, mas ang dami nang kumakain, pumipila na ng every weekend sa labas ng restaurant. So, sobrang saya ko kasi mas marami nang nakakatikim, nang nakaka-discover. And I would like to continually do this para mas marami pang makadiscover. And eventually, sana, in the future, ang goal ko is magbago yung narrative. Para pag nag-uusap ang mga tao about Mindanao, ang pag-uusapan nila is pagkain, culture, and cuisine.
When Michelin entered the Philippines, were you like, I will get this. I am ready for this.
Alam mo, I will lie if I say I did not wish to have one. No? Pero I'll share a very quick story, Chef Jayson. No? In 2017, nung bagong bukas kami, nasa second floor ako ng restaurant ko. Nung buong araw na yun, isang tao lang yung kumain. So, sabi ko sa partner ko nun, isang tao lang ang kumain today. Tama ba itong ginagawa ko? So, sabi lang niya sa akin, ano ka ba? Sabi niya, build it lang, people will come. Tapos to make myself feel good, nung 2017 pa yun eh. Sabi ko sa kanya, oo nga, no, malay mo, magka-Michelin ako. Sabi pa niya sa akin, taas naman ang pangarap mo, Michelin sa Pilipinas. So, and then I forgot about it. And then fast forward to 2025. And I was given parang, pero nung nandun ako sa inaugural, nung nakita ko ang amount of talent in the room, nagkaroon pa ako ng parang, shoot, mabibigyan pa ako. O, teka lang, wait. Nandito lahat ng mga magagaling. Parang, oh my God, anong chances ko? Pero in my heart, I will lie if I say I did not wish.
Yeah.
In my heart, ang prayer ko nun, Lord, kung sa tingin mo deserving ako, kahit selected.
Yeah.
Michelin selected restaurant, masayang masaya.
Yeah.
But then again, he gave me
Not one.
Not one, but two.
Yes.
So parang lahat nung pagod talagang worth it. Alam mo, share ko tong story, Jason. Hindi alam ng mga tao, pero share ko na nung na-awardan na ako, lumabas ako, nag-CR ako, umiyak ako. Hindi talaga, nag-ugly cry ako, as in ugly cry, kasi naalala ko lahat ng pinagdaanan ko in 8 years na to come to that moment na parang sabi ko, Lord, thank you. Ito pala yung sinasabi mo na just be faithful to what you do.
Yeah.
And just have trust and faith. Akong bahala sa'yo. Totoo yun. Nothing really does happen overnight. Just be honest with your work.
And it's just the accumulation,
The accumulation
of
of
small things.
Small things. Yeah.
Sabi nga nila, big things are compounded small things.
Yes, tama.
For our last question, Chef Miggy.
Last na?
Last na nga! Akala ko kanina.
Nag-enjoy pa lang ako.
Ulitin natin to. Hopefully over food, yours or mine.
Of course, yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone's listening who probably are in the same position as you, me, regional cooks, or someone who's not sure whether they're doing the right thing.
Or not,
Yeah. What advice would you give someone in the business or someone who wants to enter the business, who probably don't have the same tools that you have built, and invite mo na rin sila sa restaurant?
You know, Chef, I think it doesn't matter. You can start small. You don't have to be big right away. Start small and never forget na when you do it with passion, with love. Kasi sometimes it's not an easy thing to do. Chefs might probably make it seem like it's glamorous, but from the inside it's not. It's really hard. And important is also to consider you have to have a support system. ako, I'm super grateful to my family who has always been there, who supported me along the way, who believed in me, trusted in me, and who kept pushing me forward. Yun mga bagay, money can't buy.
Yeah.
And huwag kang matakot kasi there's a place for everyone in the industry. Basta naniniwala ka sa ginagawa mo.
Yeah.
Kung walang nakikinig sa'yo, basta meron lang sa'yong naniniwala kahit isa.
At dapat yun yung sarili mo.
At yun ang sarili mo. Go on, push forward. Sa mga tao naman, sa mga chefs naman who are doing regional cuisines, who are afraid to step into, in the zone of Metro Manila, gawin nyo. Kakayanan ko eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Naging ginipig ako eh. Pinagdaanan ko lahat ng paghihirap.
Yeah.
At if I emerge successful in something that is so difficult to do, kaya mo rin. Maniwala ka lang sa sarili.
Parang ako yung market ng advice na yan.
Hindi, diba? Hindi totoo yun, chef. At saka stop looking at the people and the things around you.
Yes.
You just look at yourself. Diretso lang ang tingin. Gawin mo lang lahat ng magagawa mo. Kasi eventually, may makakapansin, may makakarinig. Kung hindi man yung mga tao sa paligid mo, there's someone up there, greater than all of us, who's watching and who's waiting for the right time to see you ripened into somebody that he wants you to be. And then, yun na yun.
Chef, kung gusto nilang kumain, saan nila pupuntahan?
Siyempre, kung sa mga hindi pa nakakakain po ng Southern Mindanaoan cuisine, Palm Grill is in Tomas Morato, Quezon City. Magre-reopen kami ng mall branch namin sa Gateway Mall 2 sa Araneta City. We just recently opened March 1, praise God, sa NAIA Terminal 3 sa airport. Sa arrivals po kami. Arrivals area sa Tambayan. Hindi arrivals kasi pag wala ka namang flight, pwede kang dumalaw. May parking, pwede kang dumalaw. And bago ka mag-check-in, pwede ka munang bumaba sa arrival, kumain ka. It's all Filipino food hall concept, yung Tambayan. So, it's about time na ang international airport natin ay mag-promote ng Filipino cuisines. And thank you to the people who are taking charge now of the airports dahil they're giving opportunities for Filipino cuisine to shine, and that's how it should go.
Yes.
So yun din. Instagram, Facebook, Palm Grill. Ako, kung gusto nila akong sundan, it's Chef Miggy Moreno. On IG and FB, Palm Grill PH naman for at Cabel. Cabel pala, not to forget. Filipino heritage, nasa napakagandang lumang bahay. Filipino cuisine from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Nasa may San Miguel, Manila, sa may tapat ng Malacanang Palace. Kung gusto din nila ng napakagandang restaurant na simple, na masarap kainan, pwede nilang dalawin.
Ayun! First of all, thank you, Chef Miggy,
thank you, Chef Jayson,
for coming over. Marami akong natutuhan, and at the same time, I feel seen today. This is an episode that's one of my most favorites.
Salamat.
In the entire seasons that we have. Again, maraming salamat. At mga kaibigan, ito po si Chef Miggy, a living story of who we are and who we could be as regional cooks first and as Filipino cooks second. We're very happy to have him today. At abangan nyo po ang mga susunod pa nating episodes. Abangan nyo rin po ako sa bagong show ng IBC 13, ang 13 Mornings. Nandito po tayo ngayon sa Pinoy Flavors with Chef Jayson. Ingat po tayong lahat. See you next Wednesday.